Absolutely. Here's a great, deep, and detailed summary of Iltutmish's early life and career, written in the simplest, clearest, and most beginner-friendly way possible. This summary will help you fully understand his life journey from being a slave boy to becoming one of the greatest rulers of the Delhi Sultanate. Great, deep, detailed summary of Iltutmish's early life and rise, explained like teaching a complete beginner. 1. Noble birth, but a cruel start. Iltutmish, whose full name was Shamsuddin Iltutmish, was born in Central Asia in a noble Turkish family. His family belonged to a tribe called the Ilbari tribe. These were brave and skilled people known for horse riding and fighting. But even though he was born into a good family, his life took a sad turn. His own brothers became jealous of him, maybe because he was more talented, better looking, or more loved than them. So when he was still a small boy, they sold him as a slave, treating him like an object. 2. Sold as a slave twice. The boy Iltutmish was first bought by a merchant named Jamal ud-Din. A merchant is a person who buys and sells goods to earn money. This merchant took him to Ghazni, a big city in today's Afghanistan, which was famous for trade and culture. Later, Iltutmish was taken to Delhi and sold again, this time to a very important man, Qutb ud-Din Aibak, who was a powerful army commander and the future ruler of Delhi. 3. A boy with signs of greatness. Even though he was a slave, people could see there was something very special about Iltutmish. He had a handsome face, unlike his master Aibak. He had military training. He knew how to fight, ride horses, and use weapons. He was educated. He could read and write, which was rare for slaves. The great King Muhammad of Ghur, Aibak's master, once saw Iltutmish and was very impressed. He told Aibak, "Take good care of this boy. He will achieve great things one day." This was a big moment. It showed that even great leaders saw Iltutmish's future greatness. 4. Fast promotions and royal trust. Iltutmish started to rise in rank very quickly. He was made Amir Shikar, the chief of royal hunting trips, a trusted and powerful job. After the king's army conquered Gwalior, he was put in charge of the fort there, meaning he was trusted to control the fort and defend it. He was made governor of Baran, now called Bulandshahr. This was a big area to rule. Then he became governor of Badaun, another important town. And the most special reward, Aibak gave his daughter to Iltutmish in marriage. This meant Iltutmish became part of the royal family. A slave had now become a powerful and respected leader. 5. Became king in 1211 CE. Finally, in the year 1211 CE, Iltutmish became the king of Delhi. He took over after the death of his father-in-law, Qutb ud-Din Aibak. He was now the most powerful ruler of North India. This was a huge success story. A boy born in a noble family, then sold as a slave by jealous brothers, bought and sold like property, became a royal servant, rose through hard work, skill, and wisdom, became the king of Delhi. Final super simple summary. Key point. What happened? Birth. Born into a noble Turkish family in Central Asia. Sold as slave. His jealous brothers sold him while he was still a child. Bought by merchant, taken to Ghazni, then Delhi, and sold to Qutb. Early talents. Handsome, smart, trained in war, and could read and write. Recognized by Muhammad of Ghur. The great king said he would become special. Rising in ranks, made chief hunter, fort commander, then governor of big cities. Royal marriage. Aibak gave his daughter to Iltutmish in marriage. Became king. In 1211 CE, Iltutmish became ruler of Delhi Sultanate. Why is Iltutmish's early life so special? He was the first slave to become a king in India. His story teaches us that hard work, intelligence, and good character can help anyone rise, even from the lowest position. He later became one of the greatest rulers of the Delhi Sultanate. Would you like a comic strip, timeline, or a storyboard picture of his life next? Or should I explain what he did after becoming king in the same simple style? Here is a great, deep, and detailed summary of the passage. Iltutmish, not a usurper, written in the simplest, clearest, and most beginner-friendly way, so that anyone with no background in history can understand it completely. Summary. Why Iltutmish was not a usurper, explained with deep detail, simple logic, and clear points. What some people say. Some modern writers, present-day historians, say that Iltutmish was a usurper. A usurper is someone who takes the throne or power by force, even though he has no right to it. They say this because Iltutmish was not born into royalty and was once a slave. Why this view is wrong. 1. There was no proper throne to steal. At the time Iltutmish became king, there was no single united empire or king ruling all of North India. India was broken into 4 separate small kingdoms, ruled by Turkish generals. Lahore, Badaun, Lakhanauti in Bengal, Multan, and Uch. So there was no strong central throne that belonged to one person, nothing to usurp. Example, it's like 4 people each having their own hut. If one of them builds a strong house and becomes leader, we can't say he stole anything. There was no real palace to steal. 2. Iltutmish was chosen by powerful people. The nobles and ministers in Delhi, the most important city, chose Iltutmish as their leader. His rival, Aram Shah, was only supported by a smaller, weaker group from Lahore. Delhi had more power and more importance, so Iltutmish's support was much stronger. Fact, Iltutmish was not just claiming power by force, he was supported by the government and military elite of Delhi. 3. Iltutmish was already respected and powerful. He was a great military leader, which means he was good at leading armies and winning battles. He was also a strong administrator, someone who knows how to govern cities and people well. So people already trusted him as a leader before he became king. He was not a slave anymore. Long before becoming king, Qutb-ud-Din Aibak, his master, had freed him legally. He got a letter of manumission, which is a document that officially ends a person's slavery. So Iltutmish was a free man, not a slave trying to take power. 5. He had a better personality than his rivals. He was full of energy and talent. He was religious, calm, and fair. He was even better in character than Qutb-ud-Din, his master and the first ruler of Delhi. 6. Islamic law supported him. According to Islamic tradition, the ruler, king or sultan, should be the most deserving person, not just someone who is born into a royal family. Iltutmish was the most fit and capable person for ruling. His rival, Aram Shah, was weak and ineffective. So, by Islamic law, Iltutmish was the rightful choice for king. Final judgment. Iltutmish did not steal the throne. He was the best and most natural choice for ruler. He had public and official support, military skill, good governance, religious character, freedom, and legal status. There was no proper throne to usurp, and he was the one who created real kingship in Delhi. One-line conclusion. Iltutmish was not a usurper. He was a rightful, strong, and wise leader, chosen in a time of confusion to bring unity and power to the Delhi throne. Would you like a script version of this chart or timeline, a mini quiz to test understanding? Let me know what would help you most. Here is a great, deep, and detailed summary of Iltutmish's early difficulties, written in the simplest, clearest, and most beginner-friendly way, so even someone with zero background in history can fully understand it. I'll explain it like a story, with added examples and comparisons to make it feel real and easy. Deep, detailed summary. Iltutmish's early struggles after becoming king. Who was Iltutmish? Iltutmish was not born into royalty. He was once a slave in Central Asia, bought and brought to India. But because he was smart, brave, loyal, and capable, he rose up step by step and finally became the king of Delhi in 1211 CE, death of Qutb-ud-Din Aibak, his master. But when he became king, he didn't sit on a strong, peaceful throne. He stepped into a mess, a kingdom that was falling apart. His kingdom was almost destroyed when Iltutmish became king. The Delhi Sultanate, the Muslim empire in North India, was nearly gone. He only controlled Delhi, a nearby town called Badaun, and a thin strip of land from Banaras Varanasi in the east to the Sivalik Hills in the west. It was like being called King of India, but only having a few small cities. He had the title, but not the power. Powerful enemies surrounded him. Let's look at all the troubles he faced one by one. 1. Punjab was against him. The region of Punjab, which had once been a part of the Sultanate, did not support him. People there didn't accept him as their king. They had become hostile, angry, and rebellious. 2. Kubacha was becoming very strong. A rival leader named Nasir-ud-Din Kubacha ruled Multan in today's Pakistan. He was spreading his power by capturing other important cities like Batinda, Kurram, Saraswati, and even Lahore, a very important city. He took over Lahore while Iltutmish was busy dealing with another rival, Aram Shah. So, Kubacha was grabbing power fast. 3. Bengal and Bihar broke away. On the eastern side of India, the regions of Bengal and Bihar had once been part of the Delhi Sultanate. But now, a man named Ali Mardan ruled Lakanauti, a city in Bengal, and declared himself an independent king. He no longer followed Delhi's orders. This meant Iltutmish lost control of the east of India too. Rajput kings rejected his rule. The Rajputs were warrior kings in many parts of north and central India. Earlier, they had been defeated by Muhammad of Ghur and Qutbuddin Aibak and were paying tribute money gifts to show they accepted Delhi's rule. But now the Rajput kings stopped sending tribute, refused to accept Iltutmish as king. They said, "We are free now. We don't owe anything to Delhi." Even powerful Rajput kingdoms like Jalore, Ranthambore, Ajmer, Gwalior, and the Doab region between the Ganga and Yamuna rivers all became independent and ignored Delhi. 5. Another ruler, Tajuddin Yıldız, king of India. There was another Turkish military leader named Tajuz. He said he should be the ruler of North India, not Iltutmish. He challenged Iltutmish's authority, which added more tension and rivalry. So now, Iltutmish had a strong competitor trying to grab his throne. 6. Even his own city, Delhi, was unsafe. Inside Delhi, where Iltutmish ruled, things were not peaceful either. Some of his own royal guards, the soldiers who were supposed to protect the king, secretly joined with Aram Shah's supporters, a rival group, and started a rebellion, a planned fight to remove Iltutmish from power. So, even inside his palace, Iltutmish was surrounded by danger. What was the result? Iltutmish became king, but his throne was weak, unstable, surrounded by enemies, ignored by many kings, and even unsafe inside his own city. We say the throne was precarious, meaning it was like a chair with broken legs. It could fall anytime. Real-life comparison. Imagine being made captain of a ship, but half the crew refuses to listen to you. Some sailors want to throw you off the ship. Pirates are attacking from all sides, and the ship is already leaking water. That was Iltutmish's situation when he became king. In short, summary table, problem, details. Small kingdom, only Delhi, Badaun, and a few nearby areas. Punjab refused to follow him, took over Multan, Lahore, and more. Bengal and Bihar declared independence under Ali Mardan. Rajputs stopped paying tribute, became free. Yıldız wanted to become king of all India. Delhi itself, royal guards rebelled against him. Result, throne was very weak, risky, and surrounded by danger. Final thoughts. Iltutmish started his rule in one of the worst possible situations. His kingdom was small and broken, and enemies were everywhere, inside and outside. But despite these early struggles, Iltutmish would go on to become one of the greatest sultans of Delhi. These hard times made him stronger, and he slowly reclaimed power, defeated rivals, and rebuilt the sultanate. Would you like me to now explain how he overcame these problems step by step, or make a comic strip or diagram showing this summary visually? Here is a great, deepest, most detailed summary of Iltutmish's contest with Yıldız, explained in extremely simple words, with extra context, clarity, and real understanding, better than any textbook. Summary: Iltutmish's contest with Yıldız in deep, clear detail. Background: when Iltutmish became ruler of Delhi in the early 1200s, the Delhi Sultanate was very weak. He had very little territory, mostly Delhi, Badaun, and some nearby areas. Many powerful rivals were challenging him. The most important of these rivals were Yıldız, ruler from Ghazni; Kubacha, ruler of Multan and Lahore; Aram Shah's supporters inside Delhi. Step 1. Iltutmish's position was weak and dangerous. Iltutmish was a new king with many enemies. His kingdom was small, and many didn't accept him as the rightful ruler. He was also surrounded by bigger powers, like Yıldız in the northwest and Kubacha in Multan. So instead of fighting everyone at once, Iltutmish decided to act smart and careful. Step 2. He pretended to accept Yıldız's power. Yıldız, a powerful Turkish commander, claimed that he was the true ruler of India, Hindustan. He said Iltutmish was just a vassal, a junior or servant king. To avoid immediate conflict, Iltutmish pretended to agree. Iltutmish accepted royal symbols from Yıldız like the canopy, a symbol of royal authority, the mace, a symbol of military power. But in truth, this was just a trick to buy time. Step 3. Iltutmish cleanse up internal enemies. While pretending to obey Yıldız, Iltutmish was secretly removing Aram Shah's supporters, winning over the elite Turkish military guards, strengthening his army and administration. Through diplomacy and tact, he gained full control over Delhi. Now he was safe inside his own kingdom and ready to deal with outside threats. Step 4. Yıldız grows stronger, and so does the danger. While Iltutmish was busy inside Delhi, Yıldız defeated Kubacha and took control of Lahore and most of Punjab. This made Yıldız even more powerful and dangerous. This worried Iltutmish. Why? Because the Khwarizm Shah, Alauddin Muhammad, had taken over Ghazni from Yıldız. Ghazni was a historical symbol of power in India. Mahmud of Ghazni once ruled India from there. Iltutmish feared that Khwarizm Shah might now say, "I control Ghazni, so I also control Hindustan, India." To stop this, Iltutmish had to break Delhi's connection with Ghazni, defeat Yıldız, who was once ruler of Ghazni. Step 5. The big opportunity. Yıldız becomes weak in 1215. Yıldız lost Ghazni to Khwarizm Shah and ran to Lahore. This was the perfect moment for Iltutmish. Yıldız was now weaker and without support. So, Iltutmish marched to attack. Step 6. The Battle of Tarin. Iltutmish wins. Iltutmish and Yıldız fought at Tarin, a famous battlefield, where earlier Prithviraj Chauhan fought against Muhammad Ghori. Iltutmish gave Yıldız a crushing defeat. Yıldız was captured alive, taken prisoner, and sent to Badaun. He died soon after, ending his threat forever. Step 7. Why this was a big turning point. This victory was very important. It completed the work of Aybak, who had started the Delhi Sultanate. It removed all claim of Ghazni or Khwarizm over Delhi. It made Delhi fully independent in reality, in practice, though it didn't yet declare official independence in theory. Now no foreign ruler could say, Delhi belongs to Ghazni or Khwarizm. Step 8. Lahore was left with Kubacha, then taken after defeating Yıldız. Iltutmish let Kubacha rule Lahore for a short time. But in 1217, Iltutmish annexed Lahore to Delhi. Now, most of North India was under Iltutmish's control. Final conclusion. What did Iltutmish achieve? He used intelligence, patience, and diplomacy to survive early threats. He defeated the powerful Yıldız and ended any outside control over Delhi. He made the Delhi Sultanate truly sovereign and independent. He laid the strong foundation for future sultans like Balban and Alauddin Khalji. Real-world analogy for better understanding. Think of Iltutmish like a new manager in a company. The company is weak and full of rivals. A powerful ex-boss, Yıldız, says he's still the real leader. Iltutmish pretends to respect him, fixes the team inside, then finally removes the ex-boss forever. He doesn't just win power, he builds a strong system. Would you like this as a visual timeline or flowchart? A comic strip version? Or a voice note summary? Let me know. I'll make it even more fun and memorable. Here is the great, deepest, and most detailed summary of the story of the Mongol menace during Iltutmish's rule, explained in the simplest possible words with complete clarity for total beginners. Background. The Delhi Sultanate was still very young. In the early 1200s, Iltutmish had just become ruler of Delhi. His kingdom, the Delhi Sultanate, was very new, small, and still growing. It was not yet strong like a big empire. It was like a newborn baby among powerful neighbors. Around this time, a dangerous storm was rising in Central Asia, the Mongol Empire. Who were the Mongols? The Mongols were nomadic warriors from Mongolia, north of China. They lived in tents, moved on horses, and were expert fighters. They were led by a powerful warrior named Temujin, known in history as Genghis Khan. He wanted to conquer the whole world and created one of the biggest empires ever. The Mongols were not Muslims or Hindus. They believed in shamanism, nature, skies, spirits, and sometimes Buddhism. Destruction of the Khwarezm Empire. Near Persia, Iran, there was a Muslim empire ruled by Khwarezm Shah. The Khwarezm ruler insulted the Mongols by killing their traders. In response, Genghis Khan attacked he burned cities, killed thousands, destroyed the Khwarezm Empire. The ruler fled towards the Caspian Sea, and his son, named Jalal-ud-Din Mang-Barni, ran towards India. Jalal-ud-Din flees to Punjab. Jalal-ud-Din, now a prince without a kingdom, entered Punjab, now in Pakistan. He took control of Sindh Sagar Doab, the land between two rivers, Sindh and Jhelum. To gain support, he married the daughter of a powerful local Khokar chief. With the Khokar's help, he defeated Kubacha, another local ruler, captured land and forts like Pasrur, came close to Lahore. He appeals to Iltutmish. After gaining Sindh, sent a request to Iltutmish, ruler of Delhi. Please give me shelter and help. I am a royal prince and need support. Iltutmish's big dilemma. Iltutmish now had a big problem. Choice, risk. If he accepted Jalal-ud-Din, Genghis Khan might attack Delhi to catch him. If he refused Jalal-ud-Din, the prince might feel insulted and attack Delhi himself. This is called a dilemma. Two options, both dangerous. Also, Iltutmish wanted to keep Delhi safe. He did not want to get involved in the dangerous politics of Central Asia. Iltutmish's wise decision. He decided to stay neutral. He sent a polite message to Jalal-ud-Din. Sorry, I cannot help you. Please leave Punjab. This was a smart political move. It avoided direct conflict with Genghis Khan. It protected Delhi from Mongol attacks. Jalal-ud-Din gets insulted. Jalal-ud-Din felt angry and insulted. He started attacking some areas near Iltutmish's border, southeast Punjab. Iltutmish prepared for war against him. But Jalal-ud-Din realized that fighting Iltutmish would be dangerous, so he backed off. Instead, he tried to capture Multan again from Kubacha. Mongols come close, but Delhi is saved. While all this was happening, the Mongol army under Genghis Khan had already reached the Indus River by 1220 CE. They were very close to India. But since Iltutmish did not support Jalal-ud-Din, Genghis Khan had no reason to attack Delhi. So he turned back to Afghanistan. This saved the Delhi Sultanate from destruction. Historian's reflection. The historian says, if Genghis Khan had attacked, Delhi might have been destroyed early. But maybe it wouldn't be such a bad thing. Why? Because Mongols, unlike Turks, were not strict Muslims. They were shamanists, open to different cultures. They might have mixed with Indian society like earlier invaders had. So in the long run, India might have absorbed the Mongols. Final takeaway summary. Point explanation. Who were the Mongols? Fierce warriors from Mongolia led by Genghis Khan. What did they do? Destroyed the Khwarezm Empire completely. Who was Jalal-ud-Din? Son of Khwarezm Shah, escaped to Punjab. What did he do? Took control of parts of Punjab with Khokar support. What did he ask? Asked Iltutmish for shelter. What did Iltutmish do? Refused politely, stayed neutral. What did Jalal-ud-Din do next? Got angry, attacked nearby areas, but backed off. What happened to Delhi? Was saved from Mongol attack because of smart policy. What do historians say? Mongol rule might have made India different. Maybe better. Would you like a comic strip, timeline, map, or story version of this next to make it even clearer and visual? Here is the great, deepest, most detailed summary of the defeat and death of Nasiruddin Kubacha, written in very simple language, full of background, context, and examples, as if teaching someone with no prior knowledge of history at all. Background. Who were the main people? Nasiruddin Kubacha, a local Turkish ruler in Punjab, Multan, and Sindh, now in Pakistan. He ruled independently after the fall of the Ghurid Empire. His power grew while Delhi was weak, and he controlled important cities like Multan and Uch. The Sultan of Delhi, 1211 to 1236. He was a strong and clever king who wanted to bring all northern Indian regions under the Delhi Sultanate. He saw Kubacha as a rival and wanted to defeat him to expand Delhi's power. Jalal-ud-Din Mangbarni, a prince from Khwarizm, a Central Asian kingdom destroyed by the Mongols, fled from Genghis Khan's army and stayed in Punjab, India, around 1221 to 1224. His presence shook up Kubacha's control over Punjab. What happened? 1. Mangbarni's arrival weakens Kubacha 1221 to 1224. Jalal-ud-Din Mangbarni escaped into Punjab while running from the Mongols. He fought battles there and took away territory from Kubacha. Areas like Sindh Sagar Doab and parts of Multan fell into Mangbarni's control. Kubacha's hold on his kingdom weakened. Think of it like a rival guest coming into your house and taking over your rooms. Even if they leave later, the damage is done. 2. Iltutmish takes advantage. When Mangbarni left India in 1224, Kubacha was weakened and vulnerable. Iltutmish used this moment to take back lost Delhi lands, Inda, Kurum, and Saraswati, recover areas along the Hakra River, an old river in northwestern India. 3. The final plan, double attack, 1228. In 8, Iltutmish decided to finish Kubacha completely. He launched a double-sided attack. One army moved from Lahore to Multan. Another marched from Delhi to Uch. This was a clever strategy, like catching a thief from the front and back so he can't run away. 4. Kubacha panics and flees. Faced with attack from both directions, Kubacha panicked. He ran away to Bakar, a strong fort on the lower Indus River in Sindh. Meanwhile, Iltutmish's army besieged Uch, surrounded the city, and cut off supplies. Uch was captured after a 3-month siege. 5. Bakar siege and Kubacha's death. Now Kubacha was trapped in Bakar. He tried to negotiate for peace, but Iltutmish refused any conditions and demanded total surrender. Kubacha refused, but Iltutmish launched a terrifying assault on Bakar. In fear and despair, Kubacha jumped into the Indus River and drowned. This happened in the year 1228 CE. 6. Victory for Delhi Sultanate. With Kubacha dead, cities like Multan, Uch, and Bakar were now fully under Iltutmish. The Sumra ruler of Dabal, Sinan-ud-Din Chanisar, also submitted peacefully to Iltutmish. Thus, Sindh and Multan were now officially part of the Delhi Sultanate. Final outcome. Why is this important? Iltutmish removed a major rival, Kubacha, expanded his kingdom westward into present-day Pakistan, strengthened the Delhi Sultanate's borders, showed other rulers that Delhi was now the central power in North India. Kubacha went from being a powerful independent ruler to being completely defeated. His death marked the end of local rule in Sindh and Multan. In one line, Kubacha's power was destroyed by a mix of Mongol chaos and Iltutmish's clever planning, leading to his tragic death and the rise of Delhi as the strongest power in northern India. Would you like a comic strip or a timeline version next? I can draw the events step by step too. Here is the great, deepest, and most detailed summary of the passage, written in the simplest language possible, full of background, clear explanations, and added meaning to help you understand everything as if you're learning it for the first time. What is this passage about? This passage tells us what Iltutmish did after defeating Kubaka and how he tried to expand and control Punjab and Sindh, but also why he could not fully succeed in controlling all of that area. The deepest, most detailed summary. After Iltutmish defeated Kubacha in 1228, he took over Kubaka's lands, mostly in today's Punjab, Multan, and Sindh regions, now in Pakistan. These were important because they were rich, located near rivers, and were key gateways for attacks from the northwest. Iltutmish organized these newly won areas into 3 provinces. 1. Lahore. 2. Multan. 3. Sindh. This helped him manage the new territories better, like dividing a big school into different classrooms, each with its own teacher, governor. But even though these areas now belong to Delhi in theory, Iltutmish did not actually control of Punjab. Let's understand why. Limits of Delhi's rule. 1. Lahore province did not include Punjab. Only parts of Punjab were under Delhi. The northwestern part, like Sialkot and beyond, was not in his control. 2. Sialkot was the northern boundary. That was the farthest north Iltutmish could. He could expand further because beyond that were strong enemies and tribal groups. 3. Khokar tribe controlled Sindh Sagar Doab. Khokars were local warriors who lived between the Indus and Jhelum rivers. They were strong and rebellious. Iltutmish couldn't easily defeat them or bring that area under his full control. 4. Baniyan region was ruled by Saif-ud-Din Hasan Karlug. He was once a lieutenant military commander under Jalaluddin Mangbarni, the prince who came from Central Asia. This means that part of western Punjab was still under foreign influence. Karlug had made himself a local king and didn't accept Iltutmish's power. What did Iltutmish do? Iltutmish gave a clear order to the governors of Lahore, Multan, and Sindh. Expand the Delhi Sultanate's borders. Try to capture all of Punjab. This was a smart move. He could not do everything himself, so he gave local leaders the job of growing the empire by fighting enemies, controlling forts, managing local politics. The governors planned many military campaigns, called expeditions, to achieve this. One major success, the capture of Nandana Fort. Nandana was a fortress in the Salt Range, a line of hills in western Punjab. It was strong and hard to capture. One expedition successfully took it over. This was a small but important victory, showing that Delhi was trying to move west. But why Iltutmish still failed to fully control western Punjab? Even with military strength, many planned attacks, active and alert administration. Iltutmish's control over western Punjab was weak. He could not remove the Khokars completely, defeat local powers like Hasan Karlug, bring faraway areas directly under Delhi's control. So, the western part of Punjab remained unstable and semi-independent. Final key points. Point explanation. What did Iltutmish win? Multan, Uch, Sindh, divided into 3 provinces. How far did his rule reach? Up to Sialkot in the north, not beyond. Who still ruled nearby areas? Khokars in Sindh, Sagar Doab, Hasan Karlug in Baniyan. What was the plan? Governors told to capture more of Punjab. What did they win? Nandana Fort in the Salt Range. What problem remained? Iltutmish couldn't fully control western Punjab. Think of it like this. Imagine Iltutmish built a large garden, his kingdom, by defeating other gardeners, like Kubacha. He planted 3 sections, Lahore, Multan, Sindh. But some weeds, Khokars, Karlug, still grew in corners. His helpers, governors, tried to clean those areas. But the weeds were too strong, and he couldn't clean all the way to the edge. Would you like a comic strip version, map explanation, or an animated summary of this next? Here's your great, deepest, and most detailed summary of the recovery of Bengal, explained in the simplest and clearest way, like teaching a beginner with zero background. This summary gives not only what happened, but also why it mattered, with added explanations, examples, and full context for perfect understanding. Title: The Recovery of Bengal by Iltutmish. Time period: 1206 to 1230 CE. Iltutmish, Sultan of Delhi. Region involved, Bengal and Bihar, eastern India. Background. Bengal under Delhi, then breaks away. When Qutb-ud-Din Aibak ruled Delhi, first ruler of Delhi Sultanate, Bengal was under his control. After Aibak died, Bengal slipped away from Delhi's rule. Ali Mardan, a Khalji leader, took over Bengal and declared himself independent. He no longer obeyed Delhi, making Bengal a separate kingdom. Bengal was like a younger brother in the family, Delhi Empire. But after the elder brother, Aibak, died, it ran away and said, "I'll live on my own." Bad ruler, killed by his own people. Ali Mardan turned out to be a cruel and unfair ruler, called a tyrant. His own group Khaljish got fed up and killed him in revolt. The throne passed to a new leader, Husamuddin Iwaz. Iwaz, a strong and popular ruler, Iwaz ruled well. He was clever and popular among people. He gave himself a royal name, Sultan Ghiyas-ud-Din. He became very powerful. He annexed Bihar, added it to Bengal. He forced nearby Hindu states, Jajnagar, Tirhut, Vanga, and Kamarupa, to pay tribute, regular payments. These payments showed that he was seen as strong and superior in eastern India. Iwaz was acting like a mini-king of eastern India. Delhi didn't like that. Iltutmish wants Bengal back. Iltutmish, the new and powerful Sultan of Delhi, ruled from 1211 to 1236, saw Bengal as part of his empire. He refused to allow Bengal to stay independent. At first, he was busy dealing with Mongol threats from Central Asia. But once that problem was settled, he turned his attention to Bengal and prepared for war. First campaign, 1225 CE, Iltutmish sent an army to recover Bihar. Then, in 1225, he himself marched with his army. Iwaz did not fight. He surrendered peacefully. He accepted Delhi's sovereignty, admitted that Iltutmish was the higher ruler. He promised to pay a fine, called an indemnity, send annual tribute, yearly payment to Delhi. It was a clever move by Iwaz. He avoided war but secretly kept his ambition. Iwaz breaks promise. After Iltutmish returned to Delhi, Iwaz rebelled again. He stopped sending tribute and acted like an independent king again. Iltutmish was furious, but didn't go himself this time. Iltutmish sends his son. Iltutmish sent his son Nasir-ud-Din Mahmud, who was the governor of Awadh, to handle the situation. In 12, Nasir-ud-Din captured Lakhanauti, the capital of Bengal, defeated and killed Iwaz. Bengal was once again part of the Delhi Sultanate. New trouble. Mahmud dies, another rebellion. Nasir-ud-Din Mahmud died soon after his victory. This created another power vacuum in Bengal. A new rebel named Balkha Khalji took control and declared himself king. Second campaign, 1230 CE, Iltutmish had to march again to Bengal. He fought Balkha Khalji, defeated and killed him. Bengal was now fully reconquered and secured. Reorganization. To prevent further rebellions, Iltutmish made a smart decision. He separated Bengal and Bihar into two provinces. He appointed two different governors, each responsible only for their own area. This made it harder for one man to become too powerful again. Why this was important. Historical impact. 1. Showed Iltutmish's strength. He wasn't afraid to crush rebellion. He was a determined and wise ruler. 2. Delhi Sultanate became stronger. With Bengal back, Delhi's empire stretched from North India to Eastern India. 3. Learned lessons from rebellion. Iltutmish began organizing provinces better to stop future revolts. This helped centralize power in Delhi. Full timeline for reference. Year, event. After 1206, Qutb-ud-Din Aibak dies. Bengal breaks away under Ali Mardan. Ali Mardan, ruled cruelly, was killed by his own people. Iwaz became ruler. Strong, popular, expanded Bengal. 1225, Iltutmish marches to Bengal. Iwaz surrenders. 1226, Iwaz rebels again. Iltutmish's son defeats and kills Iwaz. Bengal recaptured. Soon after, Nasir-ud-Din Mahmud dies. Balkha Khalji takes over Bengal. 1230, Iltutmish again attacks, defeats, and kills Balkha. After 1230, Bengal and Bihar made into separate provinces with two governors. Final thoughts. This whole episode is called the Recovery of Bengal because Bengal had slipped out of Delhi's hands and became independent. But through 2 military campaigns, clever politics, and strong leadership, Iltutmish brought it back under control and made Delhi stronger than before. It teaches us, ruling a big empire is not just about winning wars. It's also about how you manage power, stop rebellion, and organize your administration smartly. Would you like a comic version of this story, a Q&A style revision guide, or a character breakdown like Iltutmish versus Iwaz? Just ask, and I'll prepare it in the same deep, clear, beginner-friendly style.
Of course, here's a deep, rich and detailed summary of the passage. Rajasthan throws off the Turkish yoke, explained in the simplest, clearest way, yet covering everything fully and completely. Summary. Rajasthan throws off the Turkish yoke, explained step by step, clearly and deeply. Main idea. After the death of a Turkish ruler named Kut, the people of Rajasthan, especially the Rajput kings and warriors, saw a chance to fight back against foreign rule. Many Rajput clans began to reclaim their lands, defeat Turkish armies, and become independent rulers once again. They did this by driving out Turkish soldiers and re-establishing their kingdoms and forts. What is Turkish yoke? Let's first understand this. Turkish refers to the foreign Muslim rulers, Turks from Central Asia, who came into India and conquered many places, including parts of Rajasthan. Yoke, a symbol of slavery or control. It's what is used to tie animals to plows. But here it means foreign control or domination. So Turkish yoke, foreign Turkish rule over the Indian people, especially over Rajasthan. After Aybak's death, the turning point. Aybak was the first ruler of the Delhi Sultanate after Muhammad Ghori's death. When Aybak died, there was confusion and weakness in Turkish rule. This gave the Rajput kings a golden chance to strike back and reclaim their lost kingdoms. The Rajput fight for freedom, region by region. Let's go deeper into each major Rajput group and what they did. 1. Chandelas, reclaiming Kalinjar and Ajaigarh. The Chandela dynasty was known for ruling in Bundelkhand, now in Madhya Pradesh and parts of Uttar Pradesh. They had lost power during Turkish invasions, but now they gathered strength and won back Kalinjar and Ajaigarh, 2 very important and symbolic forts. These forts were strategically important and also had religious and historical value. This showed that the Chandelas were back in power. 2. Pariharas, Gwalior, Narwar, Jhansi. The Pariharas, also called Pratiharas, fought bravely to kick out the Turkish garrison, army group, from Gwalior. Gwalior was an important city with a huge fort. After taking back Gwalior, they expanded their rule to nearby towns. Narwar, a historical hill fort town, Jhansi, a strategic town in central India. This showed their growing control and strength. 3. Chauhans of Ranthambore, taking Jodhpur and beyond. The Chauhans were one of the strongest Rajput clans. The ruler of Ranthambore, a famous hill fort in eastern Rajasthan, defeated the Turkish army there. After this victory, he expanded his kingdom to include Jodhpur in western Rajasthan and surrounding areas. This was a major success and helped bring Rajput power back to central Rajasthan. 4. Chauhans of Jalore, a series of victories. Jalore is a fort city in southern Rajasthan. The Chauhans of Jalore won many cities back from the Turks. Here are the places they reconquered: Nandor, Maubama, Ratnapur, Sanchor, Radhadara, Kera, Ramasin, Binmal. This shows the largest list of victories by any Rajput group mentioned in the passage. A clear Rajput revival in southern and western Rajasthan. 5. Jadan Batis in Alwar, northern Rajasthan. The Jadan Bati Rajputs lived in northern Rajasthan, especially Alwar. During this period, they were able to re-establish themselves as rulers. They defeated the Turks and restored their control in that region. They established their independent rule and became a local power again. 6. Ajmer, Bayana, Thangir, regaining freedom. These three important towns, Ajmer, spiritual and historical capital, Bayana, a fort town, Thangir, likely modern-day Thanagazi or nearby area, all of them ended Turkish rule. They became independent again. Local rulers reclaimed their authority. This shows that many different towns all over Rajasthan were now freeing themselves from foreign control. What this all means. Let's pull it all together. After Aybak's death, Turkish power weakened in India. The Rajput clans of Rajasthan, who had once ruled proudly, saw a chance to rise again. Each Rajput group fought battles against Turkish soldiers, reclaimed forts, cities and kingdoms, threw off foreign rule and re-established their kingdoms. This period shows the strength, bravery and determination of the Rajputs. They were not ready to stay under foreign control. They wanted freedom and self-rule, and they fought hard for it. Why this is important in history. It tells us that Indian kingdoms, especially the Rajputs, did not quietly accept foreign rule. It shows how regional powers can rise again if they have unity, courage and a chance. This was one of the first big efforts to break free from the Delhi Sultanate. Timeline view, just to help you visualize, time period, event. After Aybak's death, 1210 CE, weakness in Turkish rule begins. 1210s to 1230s, Rajput clans begin uprising. Each region fights back. Rajput rulers reclaim cities and forts. Rajputs re-establish control. Independence restored in many areas. Would you like a map-based visual explanation or a story version next? I can also make a Rajput family tree showing who ruled where. Of course. Let's now go even deeper and explain every part of this story in the most simple, clear and detailed way possible, like teaching a young student with no background knowledge. Topic: Iltutmish's campaign in Rajputana, time period around 1226 to 1231 CE. Main character Sultan Iltutmish, King of Delhi. Goal: to take back control of lost cities in Rajasthan. Background: what happened before this? Iltutmish was a powerful king of the Delhi Sultanate, Muslim rule in northern India. Before him, many Turkish rulers had taken over large parts of India. But after the death of Qutbuddin Aybak, many Rajput rulers, Indian warrior kings, took back their cities from Turkish control. The Delhi Sultanate lost many important places in Rajasthan. Now comes Iltutmish. He didn't want to lose those places. So, once he felt safe from Mongol attacks, big invaders from Central Asia, he started fighting to take those cities back. Now let's go step by step, battle by battle, place by place. 1. Ranthambore, 1226 CE. Ranthambore was a strong and famous fort in Rajasthan. In 1226, Iltutmish sent his army there. He surrounded the fort. This is called a siege, like blocking food and help from going in. After a tough battle, he won the fort back. Then he put his own soldiers inside to guard it. This is called re-garrisoning. Why important? Ranthambore was like the gate to many Rajput areas. Taking it back gave Iltutmish a strong start. 2. Mandore, capital of the Paramaras. After Ranthambore, he went to Mandore, which was ruled by a Rajput group called the Paras. Mandore was a key city, like a capital. He fought and took it. Again, he left his soldiers there to keep it safe. Why important? It weakened the Paramaras and gave Delhi control of more land. 3. Jalore, ruled by Uday Singh, around 1212-1229. Iltutmish attacked Jalore. Uday Singh, the Rajput ruler, fought hard and bravely. He made Iltutmish's job very difficult. Important point. Uday Singh didn't win, but he impressed Iltutmish. In the end, Uday Singh surrendered. But Iltutmish was kind. He said, "You can still rule Jalore, but you have to pay me tribute, money or gifts, every year." Why important? This was a clever move. Iltutmish didn't have to fight more or control the area directly. 4. Bayana and Thangir, more Rajput towns. After Jalore, Iltutmish's army moved on. They captured Bayana and Thangir, smaller but important places. These areas were closer to Delhi, so controlling them was smart. Why important? It built a safety circle around Delhi and expanded Iltutmish's control westward. 5. Ajmer and Sambar. Then came Ajmer, a very famous and big Rajput city. He also captured Sambar and nearby towns. But this time, the local Rajputs resisted strongly. They didn't give up easily. Still, Iltutmish won in the end and reoccupied the towns. Why important? Ajmer was like a symbol of Rajput pride, so capturing it was a huge success for Iltutmish. 6. Nagaur. In Jodhpur region, Nagaur had been under Turkish control since the time of Ghaznavid King Bahram, but after Aybak's death, it had been lost. Now Iltutmish recovered Nagaur too. Why important? This brought back old Turkish territory and connected Delhi's rule to more western parts. 7. Gwalior. Finally, in 1231, Iltutmish went to Gwalior, a huge and strong fort. It was ruled by Malayavarma, the Malayavarma Deva of the Parihara Rajput dynasty. Malayavarma fought very bravely for 1 whole year, but eventually, even after all that courage, he surrendered. Why important? This was the final major win in the campaign. It showed that no Rajput fort was too strong for Iltutmish. Final summary. In simple words, Iltutmish was a strong and clever ruler. He wanted to take back all the places in Rajasthan that Delhi had lost. From 1226 to 1231, he won back city after city. Rantham, Mandor, Jalore, ruled by Uday Singh, Bayana, Thangir, Ajmer, Sambar, Nagaur, Gwalior. He fought many brave Rajput rulers. Sometimes he let them stay in power, but only if they paid tribute to him. In the end, he brought most of Rajasthan back under the Delhi Sultanate. What can we learn? Iltutmish used both strength and strategy. He knew when to fight and when to make deals. His actions helped make the Delhi Sultanate stronger again. Would you like a comic strip of this? A map showing all cities? A timeline of the battles? Let me know, and I'll make them for you. Absolutely. Let me now give you an even deeper and clearer explanation of the entire passage, breaking down every part, connecting the dots, showing the meaning, the importance, and the consequences in the simplest and most detailed possible. You will come at everything about this topic like a pro, but still in easy words. Full, deep summary of Iltutmish's military campaigns in the easiest language. Who was Iltutmish? Iltutmish was a sultan, Muslim king of the Delhi Sultanate. He ruled in the early 1200s. His main goal was to make the Sultanate bigger by attacking and capturing more Indian kingdoms. He also wanted to show his power to both enemies and allies. Sometimes he led the attacks himself, and sometimes he sent his generals. Part by part, deep explanation of the events. 1. Malik Tayasai's campaign on Kalinjar. What happened? Iltutmish sent a general named Malik Tayasai to attack Kalinjar's strong fort city. Kalinjar was ruled by Lus, a Hindu dynasty. Their king was Trilokvarma. What did Malik Tayasai do? He marched with his army and attacked the city. The Chandela king could not fight back strongly and had to leave Kalinjar. Malik Tayasai's soldiers looted the city, plundered it, stole valuables, treasures, and destroyed property. What went wrong for the Turks? Even though they looted the city, the Chandela warriors from nearby villages came together. They attacked the invaders fiercely. The Turks, Malik Tayasai's army, were surrounded and overwhelmed. They had to run away and escape from the area. Final result? No permanent victory. The wealth, but lost control. Chandela power in the region remained strong. 2. Iltutmish's attack on Nagada, capital of Guhilots. What happened? Iltutmish himself attacked Nagada, also written as the capital of the Guhilot dynasty, Singh. What was the outcome? Kshetra Singh defeated Iltutmish in battle. Iltutmish had to go back with many of his soldiers killed. This was a huge failure for a sultan who was known as a powerful ruler. Amhasha, final result. The Guhilots remained independent. Iltutmish's power did not grow in this direction. He faced losses and shame in this attempt. 3. Attempt on Gujarat, Chalukya kingdom. What happened? Iltutmish then tried his luck with the Chalukya rulers of Gujarat. The Chalukyas were another Hindu dynasty ruling a rich and important region. What happened in the battle? Just like before, the forces of Iltutmish were defeated. They were forced to leave Gujarat. The campaign was unsuccessful. Final result? No land, the Chalukyas strong. Iltutmish's army suffered another defeat. 4. Expedition to Malwa, 1234 to 35 CE. What happened? In 1234 to 1235, Iltutmish led another attack, this time on Malwa, a region in central India. Malwa was ruled by the Paramaras, another Rajput dynasty. What did Iltutmish do? He attacked and plundered 2 cities, Bilsa, Ujjain. In Ujjain, there was a famous and ancient Hindu temple, Mahakaleshwar, dedicated to Lord Shiva. Iltutmish's army destroyed this temple. What's important to understand? Although the temple was destroyed and the cities were looted, no land was captured. The Paramaras still ruled those regions. Iltutmish didn't try to govern Malwa, he just raided and left. Why this matters? Was it a conquest or just a raid? Some historians later, like Sir Wolseley Haig, said, Iltutmish conquered Malwa and added it to his empire. But this is not true. The truth is, he did not conquer the land, he just raided, looted, and went back. The local kings were still ruling after the attack. So it was a military raid, not a real conquest. Final analysis, what does all this tell us? Point. Meaning, Iltutmish attacked many areas. He wanted to expand his kingdom. Most battles ended in failure.
Yeah.
His army was defeated or forced to leave. Local kings like Chandalas, Guhilots, Paramaras were strong. They could still protect their land. Looting happened, but no land was gained. Wealth was stolen, but no real power shift happened. Claims of big victories are not accurate. Especially in the case of Malwa, it was a raid, not a conquest. In simple words, the real story. Iltutmish was a powerful sultan, but not all-powerful. He could scare small kings, loot cities, but he could not always win. The Rajput rulers in many places were brave and strong. They fought back, and Iltutmish had to retreat more than once. In the end, his campaigns showed ambition. He wanted to rule more, but they also showed limits. He couldn't defeat everyone. Bonus map of events. Delhi, Iltutmish's base. 1. Kalinjar attacked by Malik Tayasai, looted but lost. 2. Nadalots attacked by Iltutmish, lost battle. 3. Gujarat, Chalukyas attacked by Iltutmish, lost again. 4. Malwa, Paramaras, Bilsa and Ujjain looted, temple destroyed, no land gained. If you want a timeline, flashcards, diagram of kings and battles, a comparison table of success versus failure, I can make it for you. Just ask.